Fires continue to burn across the southeast, reaching from North Carolina beyond Tennessee. Is what happened at Ohio State related to radical Islam? And in lighter news, a baby goat goes viral for wearing a duck costume for anxiety relief. You'll quack up at today's Look at This.
From the School of Communication Studio at East Carolina University, this is Pirate News Network.
Good evening, Greenville. I'm Jaron Honeycutt. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's edition of Pirate News Network 5 at 5. Wildfires continue to plague the drought-ridden southeast, leaving a haze visible in the region. NASA's Aqua satellite captured this image from space. That's the smoke from 4 different wildfires in Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. What this image doesn't show is that fires ripped through Tennessee's Great Smoky Mountains this week, killing 4 people. More than 10,000 residents were forced to flee the resort towns of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, some with just the clothes on their backs. Right now, the FBI is piecing together the motive behind the attack of Ohio State University, including the possibility of terrorism. Agents have recovered at least 2 devices belonging to the suspect. They are also looking at his online activity. 11 people were hurt after the attacker plowed his car into a crowd and then slashed victims with a knife. Pamela Brown reports on what we know now.
Today, ISIS is claiming responsibility for inspiring the attack on the campus of The Ohio State University, releasing a statement on its propaganda news website. There is no evidence the claim is true. Investigators will only say they're looking at terrorism as a possible motive.
There is plenty of available evidence to indicate that this individual may have been motivated by extremism and may have been motivated by a desire to carry out an act of terrorism.
A post on Abdul Ortan's Facebook page just before the rampage pays tribute to al-Qaeda cleric Anwar al-Awlaki and admonishes the United States, saying, "By Allah, we will not let you sleep unless you give peace to the Muslims. You will not celebrate or enjoy any holiday." Investigators are scrutinizing his cell phone and laptop and interviewing those who knew him to learn more about his motivations.
They asked me the same questions everybody else is asking, about his character, and his character was presentable. I mean, he didn't seem or appear to pose a threat to anybody.
The owner of a convenience store near Ortan's home says he came in regularly, including on the day before the attack.
He came in, he grabbed whatever he wanted, and we talked for a little bit, like, "Hi, how you doing? Was your day?" I mean, that's pretty much it. And he just left, smiling, like usual. That's it.
CNN has learned Ortan was born in Somalia and moved to Pakistan as a refugee in 2007. He came to the United States with his mother and siblings in 2014 on a green card. A U.S. official says his family went through more than 2 years of intense vetting before being allowed into the United States.
Abdul Razak.
Once he arrived, he attended a community college and then transferred to Ohio State, where he told the student newspaper he was self-conscious about showing his Muslim faith. Ortan and his family also apparently spent 23 days in Dallas in 2014, according to a faith-based group who worked with them, but they left for unknown reasons.
This was an 18-year-old. He had just transferred schools. We don't understand his background with a family. He's an immigrant. We don't understand the issues he had integrating. One of the difficulties in these is looking at what he's claiming and comparing it to the rest of his life.
Now for your local forecast. You can expect more mild temperatures across East Carolina through Thursday. Scattered storms likely in the morning with more cool air following Friday and the weekend. Highs will hit the lower 60s on Friday and fall into the 50s on Saturday, but skies should be mostly sunny. 300 U.S. Marines are due to deploy to Norway in January as part of measures intended to reassure NATO member states bordering Russia after Moscow's recent actions in Ukraine. CNN's Nick Payton-Walsh had exclusive access as Marines took part in exercises with Norwegian soldiers far above the Arctic Circle.
War just got very cold again for these US Marines, training with tanks in Norway, on the eastern borders of a NATO that's suddenly nervous once more.
They're moving forwards now towards the fake enemy positions, but these kind of exercises, since Russia's moves in Ukraine, have taken on a new kind of realism and urgency.
In January, 300 Marines will move to Norway permanently. That's how worried about Moscow's intentions they are. For now, a unit from North Carolina are readying these Abrams tanks, normally stored deep in caves, but now the furthest north of the Arctic Circle they've ever been. After Iraq and Afghanistan, these are old, new war games about protecting Europe. And they know that when the enemy isn't role-playing, it'll probably be the newly emboldened Russian military.
In 2014, that was a clear sign that Russia has stepped in an area where they are willing and able to use military power. Suddenly we have changed focus from what was going on, particularly in Afghanistan, to collective defense, national defense.
A change in focus somebody's watching. Norwegian police investigating 10 sightings of medium-sized unidentified drones over these exercises. At the furthest point north of the border you can go, it's an open game of watching. A Russian helicopter lands, rare here. And when Donald Trump questioned America's commitment to NATO and seems to want an entente with Russia, that bit of land just there, it gets noticed here. So all the way up here, did you hear about Donald Trump becoming US president?
Yeah, I did.
What do people think out here?
I'm not allowed to talk about that, actually.
It's not really a Russian invasion they worry about here, but rather the sort of separatist uprising Russia fomented in Ukraine. Little green men with guns creating trouble.
We're heading out with the Norwegian Border Patrol towards their frontier with Russia, a presence on the ground being vital for them in ensuring nothing untoward happens with their large, at times unfriendly neighbour.
That's really the reason for the Norwegian and American tanks you saw earlier. To be sure that even out here in the empty pines and crisp snow, no matter what a Trump presidency brings, there's enough muscle already here to enforce NATO's promises of collective security. See any Russians at all?
It happens. You just salute them.
Would you like to talk to them?
Probably, but it's illegal.
It is strange to hear Norwegians, NATO members, talk so vividly again about the Russian threat. The constant and real backdrop to this survival training happening tonight under a staggering display of the Northern Lights. Not until now has being sure you're ready happen with such a sense of insecurity about Europe's very borders that mounts slowly as the Trump presidency nears. Nick Payton-Walsh, CNN, Kirkenes, Northern Norway.
Believe it or not, animals have anxiety too. Can duck costumes, of all things, really calm the nerves of one stressed out baby goat? One owner says, "Totes me goats." Jeremy Roth has today's look at this.
Meet Polly the goat. Polly's owner, who runs an animal sanctuary in New Jersey, says the goat suffers from severe anxiety. But not to worry, apparently this goofy duck costume is just what the doctor ordered. Polly's owner says for whatever reason, when Polly puts on the costume, she's as happy as a clam. Or, I guess, a duck. That's right, Polly wants a quacker. And as bizarre as it may be, the internet is loving it. Polly is going viral, quacking up thousands on social media. A Green Bay Packers fan that made a vow to only wear shorts until his beloved team brought home a win is finally in the clear. Or is he? After a 4-game losing streak, the Packers finally won Monday night, but now this superstitious fan is changing his thinking.
I decided, I think my shorts are good luck. I'm going to wear shorts as long as they keep winning now.
Really? I wonder what he'd be willing to wear to get them through the playoffs. For take a look at this, I'm Jeremy Roth.
That's all we have for you on this edition of Pirate News Network 5 at 5. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Jaron Honeycutt.